What's up, everybody? All right, you guys, so before we get started, if you're not already following me, make sure you hit that follow button. Now, y'all, this story is extremely crazy. So, Stephen Riley Jr., who's 51, and his girlfriend, Ina Kanoyer, who's 47, have been in a relationship for about 10 years. So, this couple, they don't have kids together, but Stephen does have kids outside of the relationship. Now, on Facebook, they seem like they're very much in love. They're taking pictures with their dogs, and the two just seem like a very perfect match. So in September of this year, their lives would change forever when Stephen received the email. So in this email, Stephen was informed that one of his long-lost relatives had passed away. So this long-lost relative had an inheritance, and they had left this inheritance to Stephen. Now, y'all get this, the inheritance was allegedly $30 million. So in this email, they told Stephen that they were a lawyer and he needed to meet them on September 3rd at the airport. There, they can discuss everything. They could sign over the inheritance to Stephen, and Stephen's life would change. So Stephen was happy like anybody would be. He went telling all his friends, like, look, I'm very happy. My life is going to get better. But allegedly, he also told friends that after he got this $30 million, he didn't want to be with Ina anymore. Ina felt like Stephen started making plans with the money that didn't involve her. And she started to grow worried that once he got this money, that he would leave her. Now, as the days grew closer and closer to September 3rd, where they had to go meet the lawyer at the airport, Stephen started to get really sick. Stephen started telling his friends that he felt like he was drunk even though he wasn't drinking. He started feeling sick, started throwing up. But he just insisted that he needed to lay down. He just needed to try to get himself together before he had to go to this airport. Now, September 3rd rolls around. Stephen, Ina, and some of the friends, they all go to the airport in order to meet the lawyer. But while they're at this airport, Stephen starts to act very strange. It gets to a point where Stephen is so sick he could barely walk. Now, they wait a little while at the airport, but the lawyer never shows up and Stephen gets even more sick. So Stephen's friends are like, look, Ina, he's very sick. We need to take him to a hospital. This just doesn't seem right. But Ina tells friends, no, I think he might have just had too much to drink, and I think he might be having a heat stroke. He needs to go home and lay down. Now, I don't know in what world where somebody is having a heat stroke and they need to go home versus the hospital, but this is what Ina told friends. So Stephen went home, he laid down, and that next day his friends went to go check on him. So it's being said when friends went to go check on him, Ina told these friends that Stephen went to the hospital, he didn't feel well, but the friends went to every clinic in their city and they said they had not seen Stephen. Now, what's crazy is later on that day, 911 is called to the home of Stephen and Ina. And they were called because Ina found Stephen unconscious. Now, it turns out that Stephen had never went to the hospital, but once he got to that point where he was unconscious, Ina went ahead and called 911. Stephen was rushed to the hospital, y'all, where later on he sadly passes away. So as soon as friends learned that Stephen had passed away, they went to police quickly. They told police, look, we don't know what happened to Stephen, but we know that his girlfriend was acting very strange in the days leading up to today. Stephen was supposed to get this $30 million inheritance. The man who was supposed to meet him never showed. And the entire time, Stephen was violently ill. These friends even told police that they believed that Ina might have poisoned Stephen. They said that Ina kept making comments about Stephen leaving her and kept making comments about doing something to Stephen. So police, they pulled Ina in, they questioned her, and Ina insists that she didn't do anything to Stephen and she wanted her inheritance. She told police, look, I don't know what happened to Stephen. All I know is $30 million is on the line. And I feel like because we've been together for 10 years, the money is mine. The police quickly shut her down and was like, look, this is a death investigation. We're trying to figure out what happened to Stephen. Now, police say that Ina still talks about the inheritance and says that because she was with Stephen for 10 years, she is entitled to that inheritance. Now, Ina is talking about something that's called common law marriage, where if you're with somebody for so long, in the eyes of the law, you're considered married. But what Ina didn't know was in the state of North Dakota, they do not honor common law marriage, meaning Ina was not entitled to anything. Ina insists she doesn't know what happened to Stephen, so Ina goes home, and y'all, the whole time they're investigating Stephen's death, this woman is on Facebook like nothing ever happened. So y'all, she's on Facebook detailing how now she has to walk to work. She's detailing all of the things that she has to go through since Stephen died. Now, y'all, I know everybody grieves differently, but this woman is not grieving. She's literally complaining of all the things that she's going through because Stephen is not there. She even goes so far as to making a status insinuating that Stephen did this to himself. So y'all, after the friends tell police, look, we think Ina did something to Steven, she made comments about poisoning, the police then informed the coroner of that information as well. So that prompted the coroner to do testing for poisoning and to do a toxicology report. Now y'all, 2 months after Steven's passing, they learned that Steven did not just die, he didn't have a heat stroke. Steven was actually poisoned to death with antifreeze. Now they pulled Ina back in and they questioned her again about what happened to Steven. Now, Ina continues to lie. Now, that's when police tell them, look, somebody gave Steven antifreeze. This woman tells police that maybe he just dropped his cigarette in antifreeze and smoked the cigarette and that's what killed him. Police told her, Ina, that is not how this works, and that's when she went ahead and told the truth. She told police that she had a fear that Steven was going to leave her after he received that $30 million. So in the days leading up to them going to the airport to meet with the lawyer, she started poisoning Steven with antifreeze. Now, y'all, police quickly arrest her and they charge her with murder. Now, this is where the story takes a very crazy turn. So police start digging into this information about an inheritance and about $30 million. And they say they could not find any information on Steven receiving $30 million. So basically, this was not real. Not only that, one of Steven's sons is saying that this was actually a scam and they found out later on. This mysterious email, the $30 million, the inheritance, all of it was fake. So this woman literally just killed a man she was with for 10 years over money that was never there. Now Ina will probably spend the rest of her life in prison and Steven's kids are left without a father.
Custody on a $1 million bond. Investigators saying she gave the man a toxic dose of antifreeze because she thought she would inherit millions of dollars upon his death in what prosecutors are calling an intentional and heinous act. Prosecutors charged 47-year-old Ina Conoyer with double felony murder in the death of 51-year-old Steven Riley Jr. In a criminal affidavit, friends of Riley's came forward believing Conoyer poisoned Riley, and further tests of his body revealed a toxic amount of a chemical commonly found in antifreeze. Investigators say they believe Conoyer falsely thought she would get half of a $30 million inheritance due to common law marriage, where state recognizes people as married even though they don't have a marriage license. Common law marriages are not recognized in North Dakota.
Now, y'all, my heart goes out to Steven's kids. And shout out to those friends who stuck up for Steven after his death, telling police all the things that Ina was saying, and even prompting police to prompt the coroner about a possible poisoning. She was with this man for 10 years, and at the end of the day, she was not finna go out of this relationship with nothing, and now she's going out the relationship losing everything. Justice for Steven Riley. She goes to court in December. I'm gonna keep you guys updated.